Namaste everyone, I'm your co-host Shawnee ma'am. Welcome to your favorite learning channel. The topic for today's video is human skeletal system. So today we will understand what is the skeletal system first. So the skeletal system actually comprises of a framework, and this framework is of bones and few cartilages. So the human body, that is an adult human body, comprises of 206, that is 206 bones, and the skeletal system is divided into two parts, that is axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. Now what is axial skeleton? So axial skeleton consists of around 80 bones and that are distributed along the main axis of the body, and this includes the skull, vertebral column, sternum and ribs, whereas the appendicular skeleton supports, for example, it supports the limbs and it includes the bones of hands and limbs. Today we will be talking about each bone that is present in the human skeletal system. So let's begin with the frontal bone. Okay, so what is this frontal bone? It is the bone in human skull. We can see that this is the skull. So frontal bone is present in the skull of human in the forehead region. Okay, then there is maxilla. So what is maxilla? It is the bone that forms the upper jaw. We can see it is present at the upper jaw. So it forms upper jaw and it is a major bone of our face. Then there is mandible. So mandible is the largest bone in human skull and it holds lower teeth in place. So it is present here and it helps in holding our lower teeth in place, and it also assists in mastication and forms the lower jawline. So our lower jawline is actually formed by the bone called mandible, and it also helps in the mastication of food. Then there is acromion. So what is it? It is a large bony projection. So this acromion is a large bony projection on the superior end of scapula. So this is scapula. On the superior end of scapula, this acromion is present. It is essential for the functioning of the shoulder joint. So it helps in the proper functioning of shoulder joint. Okay, then there is coracoid process. So what is it? It is a thick curved process attached by a broad base. So this is a thick, we can see it is curved process, and it is attached by a broad base to the upper part of the neck of scapula. So to the upper part of the neck of scapula, this coracoid process is attached. Okay, then there is scapula. So this is scapula, or this can also be called as shoulder blade. So it is a large triangular shaped bone that is lying in the upper back. Okay, then there is humerus. So the humerus, there is humerus, radius, ulna, carpals and metacarpals and phalanges. These are the part of the bones of our hands. Okay, so let's study them one by one. So first up is humerus. So what is humerus? It is the long bone of upper hand. Okay, so in our hand it is a long bone present at the upper portion of our hand, and it extends from the shoulder to the elbow. So this is elbow, this is shoulder, so it is extending from the shoulder till the elbow. Then there is radius. This one is the radius. Okay, so radius is one of the two large bones of forearm, and the other one is what? The other one is ulna. Ulna is this one. Okay, this one is ulna, and here the first one is radius. Okay, so radius extends from the lateral side of the elbow to the thumb side of the wrist. Okay, and it runs parallel to the ulna. So both these bones, that is radius and ulna, are running parallel to each other. Okay, then ulna is one of the two bones that make up the forearm other than radius. Okay, So it forms the elbow joint. Ulna forms the elbow joint with humerus and also articulates with radius. So it also articulates with radius as well as it forms the elbow joint with the humerus. Okay. Then we can see there is carpal bones. So what are carpal bones? Carpal bones are the wrist bones. Okay, so there are 8 small bones making up the wrist and these connect hand to forearm. Okay, then there are metacarpals. So metacarpals can also be called as palm bones. They are intermediate part of the skeletal hand they are located between the phalanges of the fingers and the carpal of the wrist. We can see they are located between the carpal bones and the phalanges. Okay, so they are metacarpals can also be called as palm bones. Okay, then there are phalanges. So these are actually the digits. So these are the bones of fingers. Here phalanges are also present in the bones of toes. Here we are only talking about the fingers, so they are present in the digits. Okay, so this was about the bones present in our hands. Then there are bones present in our limbs. They include femur, patella, there are tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals and phalanges. Let's start with femur then. So femur is the longest bone in the body. It is the longest bone in our body and the only bone in the thigh region. So our thigh region has only one bone, which is femur. Okay. Then there is patella. This one is patella. This is a small bone located in front of the knee. We can see that it is located in the front of the knee joint where femur and tibia meets. This one is tibia, so where the femur and tibia meets, there is a bone called patella. Okay. Then there are tarsals or tarsal bones. So there are 7 irregularly shaped bones situated proximally in foot in the ankle area. They are called tarsal bones. Then there are metatarsals. Here we can see there are metatarsals. So they connect the phalanges. They are connecting the phalanges to the tarsals. Okay. Then here we can see again there are phalanges. So they are bones of toes and each toe has 3 phalanges, proximal, intermediate and distal, except the big toe. The big toe has only 2 phalanges. Okay. Then let's come to tibia. So this one is tibia. So and again there is tibia and after that there is fibula. So tibia and fibula are 2 long bones in lower leg. Okay. So they connect knee and ankle. So the knee and ankle is connected by these 2 bones. They are separate bones. Okay. So tibia is shin bone. Okay. So the tibia, this one is tibia and this one is fibula. So tibia is a shin bone and it is larger of the 2 bones in lower leg. Top of tibia connects to the knee joint. So the top of tibia is connected to the knee joint and the bottom connects to the ankle joint. Okay. Then fibula can also be called as calf bone. It is smaller than tibia. So top of the fibula is located, the top of the fibula is located below the knee joint. Okay, it is located just below the knee joint and lower of the fibula forms the outer part of the ankle joint. Okay. So then there is pubic symphysis. So what is pubic symphysis? It is the secondary cartilaginous joint that is present in between the left and right superior rami of the pubis of hip bone. Here we can see it is the pubis and it is present in between the left and right superior rami of the pubis of hip bone. Then let's talk about ischium. So what is it? It forms the lower and back part. This is ischium. Okay. So it forms the lower and the back part of hip bone and it is present behind the pubis. This is pubis and it is present behind the pubis. Then there is sacrum. So sacrum is a shield shaped bony structure located at the base of lumbar vertebrae. It is shield shaped bony structure. Okay. Then let's talk about the pubis. Okay, so pubis is a forward facing bone of pelvis. It is forward facing and it is a bone of pelvis. Okay. Then there is ilium. So ilium is the uppermost and largest part of the hip bone. This is the largest and the uppermost part of hip bone. Then there is lumbar spine. So lumbar spine is the lower back consisting of 5 vertebrae in lower part of the spine between the ribs and the pelvis. Okay. Then there are ribs. Here we can see. So ribs, what are ribs? They are bony framework of the thoracic cavity. Okay, we can see it is a bony framework and it is present, or it is the framework of thoracic cavity. Then there is sternum. So this one is sternum. Sternum is the bone located in the middle of the chest. Then there is clavicle. Clavicle is commonly known as the collar bone. Okay, it connects the pectoral girdle to the axial skeleton. It is the only long bone lying horizontally in human skeleton. So it lies horizontally in the human skeleton. Okay. Then there is cervical spine. So what is it? It is a delicate structure that consists of spinal cord. Okay, it consists of spinal cord and hence it is a delicate structure as well. Okay. Then there is zygomatic bone. This zygomatic bone is also known as the cheekbone. It is present lateral to the orbit or the eye socket. Okay, at the widest part of the cheek. And then there is finally orbit. So it is a skeletal cavity that is comprised of 7 bones. It is situated within the skull. This cavity provides mechanical protection to the eye and other soft tissue structures. Okay, so these were the different bones present in our skeletal system. So let's quickly revise. We talked that the skeletal system comprises a framework of bones and a few cartilages. So an adult human body comprises 206 bones, and the skeletal system is divided into two, that is axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Then we talked about each of the bones present in human skeletal system. We had started with the frontal bone. Okay, so frontal bone, as we can see, it is the bone in human skull in the forehead region. Then there is maxilla. So maxilla is the bone that forms the upper jaw and it is a major bone of the face. Then there is mandible, which is the largest bone in the human skull and it helps in holding our teeth in place. It assists in mastication of food and it forms the lower jawline. Okay. Then there is acromion. So acromion is a large bony projection on the superior end of scapula and it is essential for the functioning of the shoulder joint. Then there is coracoid process. It is a thick curved process attached by a broad base to the upper part of the neck of scapula. Here we can see it is scapula and it is present as it is attached by a broad base to the upper part of the neck of scapula. Then there is scapula. So scapula can also be commonly called as the shoulder blade, which is large triangular shaped bone lying in the upper back. Okay. Then there is humerus. So humerus is a long bone of our upper hand and it extends from the shoulder to the elbow. Then we have radius. So radius is one of the two large bones of forearm and the other one is the ulna. Okay, so the radius extends from the lateral side of the elbow. It extends from lateral side of the elbow to the thumb side of the wrist. Then there is ulna. So ulna is one of the two bones that make up the forearm and the other, as we discussed, it is radius. So this ulna, what does it do? So here we can see ulna, it forms the elbow joint with humerus. Ulna, it forms the elbow joint with the humerus and also articulates with the radius. Okay. Then we had talked about the carpal bones. So carpal bones can also be called as wrist bone. There are 8 small bones making up the wrist and it connects hand to forearm. Then there are metacarpals which can also be called as palm bones. They are intermediate part of the skeletal hand located between the phalanges of fingers and the carpals or the carpal bones of wrist. Then there are phalanges. These are the bones present in our fingers. Okay. Then we talked about the femur. What is femur? It is the longest bone in our body and it is the only bone that is present in the thigh region. Okay. Then patella is a small bone that is located in front of the knee joint where the femur and the tibia meet. Okay. Then there are tarsal bones. So there are 7 irregularly shaped bones situated proximally in foot in the ankle region which are known as tarsal bones. Okay. Then there are metatarsals. They connect the phalanges to the tarsals. Okay. So phalanges are connected to tarsals with the help of metatarsals. Okay. Then phalanges are the bones of toes. Then there is tibia. Tibia and fibula, there are 2 long bones in lower leg. So they connect knee and ankle. Okay. So they are separate bones. So tibia is shin bone. It is larger than fibula. So top of the tibia connects to knee joint. Top of the tibia connecting to the knee joint and the bottom connects to the ankle joint. Whereas fibula can be commonly called as calf bone. It is smaller than tibia and top of fibula is located below the knee joint and the lower part or the lower end of fibula forms the outer part of the ankle joint. Okay. Then there is pubic symphysis. So it is the secondary cartilaginous joint that is present between the left and right superior rami of the pubis of hip bone. Then there is ischium. So what is ischium? It forms the lower and back part of the hip bone and it is present behind the pubis. This is pubis and ischium is present behind the pubis. Okay. Then there is sacrum. So it is a shield shaped bony structure located at the base of lumbar vertebrae. Okay. Then let's talk about the pubis. So pubis is a forward facing bone of the pelvis. Okay. Then there is ilium. Ilium is the uppermost and the largest part of the hip bone. Then lumbar spine is also present. It is the lower back consisting of 5 vertebrae in lower part of the spine that is present between the ribs and the pelvis. Okay. So ribs, what are ribs? It is the bony framework of the thoracic cavity. And sternum is the bone that is located in the middle of the chest. We can see it is present in the middle of the chest. Then there is clavicle, which is commonly known as collarbone, that connects the pectoral girdle to the axial skeleton. It is the only long bone that lies horizontally. It is present horizontally in the human skeleton. Then there is cervical spine and it is a delicate structure that consists of the spinal cord. Okay. Then there is zygomatic bone, which is also known as the cheekbone. It is present lateral to the orbit. It is present lateral to the orbit or the eye socket at the widest part of the cheek. Then finally there is orbit, which is the skeletal cavity comprising of 7 bones situated within the skull. Okay, this cavity provides the mechanical protection for the eye and other soft tissue structures. Okay, so this was about the whole human skeletal system. I hope you all would have got some great insights by watching today's video. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Till then, thank you for watching.